This episode is for the writer burned out on Google searches. You've Googled memoir advice so many times that you know what to expect in that first page of search results, and you're delusionally hoping that there's going to be something new to come up. You may have even found this podcast through a search like this. But before you waste any more time combing through free memoir content, I want you to take a step back and assess what is actually helping you. That's what this episode is all about. It's a continuation of the conversation that we had on last Tuesday's episode. And I'm really excited to dive into this further with you. So let's get started. How many free blog posts, podcasts, or YouTube videos have you consumed about memoir writing? If you're like most writers, the answer is probably a lot. I'm a part of a handful of memoir Facebook groups, memoir writing Facebook groups, and it's interesting because you see the same people pop up in every one. We're all looking for a magic wand to make the process make sense, to make it easier, to make our story make sense. So here's the thing. Free content is a great way to get started, but the truth is simple. Free content can only take you so far. And I went into this a little bit on Tuesday's episode, but the problem is that free advice is a one-size-fits-all approach. It has to be. Free content, like what I create here for you in this podcast, is here for awareness. I want to highlight your blind spots, and I am unable in this format to identify the actual issues in your actual manuscript, much less help you fix them, right? I have to speak in a more general sense when it comes to podcasting, when it comes to blog posts, when it comes to social media content. And I do my best to be aware of the common problems that my clients have. So I know exactly who it is that I'm speaking to, but I'm not going to be able to come onto the podcast and say, well, Sally, your characters need to be built out more. That's not what podcasts are for, right? So these blog posts, YouTube videos, podcasts are not tailored to your specific story or to the unique challenges that you are facing as a writer, like the writing process that you have, the writing rhythms, the other things going on in your life. I talk a lot about how your writing life is part of your regular life. And so I can speak to problems, I can speak to pain points and awareness, and there's going to be a lot here that you resonate with, but it won't be specific to you. So today I want to talk about why relying on free resources can leave you feeling stuck. It can get you stuck into this Groundhog's Day effect in your writing. And I want to show you what you need to actually move forward and snap out of that. So like I said, free content is amazing for building awareness. It's going to help you realize things like, I need to find the thread of my story, or I should be thinking about my reader. But when it comes to applying that advice to your own manuscript, that's where things are going to start to fall apart. You need to know the appropriate place for free content, and I will get into that in a moment. Okay. One of my clients came to me, and I talked about her on Tuesday's episode, but after consuming every free resource that she could find, Facebook groups, blog posts, podcasts, YouTube videos, you name it, she had so much information, but no idea on how to actually use it when it came to revising her manuscript. So she was completely overwhelmed and felt like she was going in circles. This is the Groundhog's Day effect, right? You have all this information, and it kind of ends up being a lot of the same information. Like, if you're here listening to this episode, you're looking for something new. You're looking for something that you haven't thought about before. And tips and tricks with writing, especially free tips and tricks, are not going to get you anywhere. That's why I don't really focus on tips and tricks in my free content. I'm not going to waste your time with that because those are a dime a dozen. What I am going to do in my free content is to highlight your blind spots so that you can be aware of what it is that you need to learn. I want to shift how you think. I want to show you different ways of interacting with your writing, of moving as a writer, as an author. I'm not here just to throw out lists of 10 things every memoir writer should know. That's not how I work, because it might make you feel good in the moment, but it's not actually going to change your manuscript. It's not actually going to change your writing. It's going to be scattered. It's going to feel generic. Content like that is not going to help you figure out your story, your message, or your reader. And that's what, as an editor, that's what I want to spend my time on. I want to spend my time with you figuring out what you're writing, who you're writing for, and why they should care about it. So the trick with this is knowing when free content is helpful and when it's just a distraction. Because when we tip into using free content as a distraction from the point, from our actual writing, from our actual process, from tapping into our own inner knowing as writers, that's where it starts to become sabotage. Okay, so free memoir advice is helpful when it brings you to an understanding, when it helps you understand something new about your writing process and your narrative strategy. You want to use free content to help you see things in a different way, to help you realize, oh, there's something here that I wasn't seeing before. So, like I said, I use this podcast to showcase blind spots, perspectives, and ways to engage in the actual writing. But I can't produce content specific to you because that's not how podcasts work. So if you're looking to blog posts and podcasts for strategies specific to you, you're going to be perpetually disappointed. You want to use your free content as a base for your education, as a square one. And just remember that the more time you spend Googling, the less time you are going to have for actually writing. Let me say that again because I feel like it's important. And I say this as someone who has spent a lot of time Googling different things for her hobbies, okay? The more time you spend Googling in search results on Reddit, on social media, on YouTube, the less time you're going to have for actually writing, for actually doing the thing you want to do. It's so easy to get stuck in a research spiral. It makes you feel that you're actually making progress. The internet can trick you into thinking that you're actually doing something. You're actually doing the thing if you're doing the research. But if your research is bringing you kind of the same answers over and over, just from different people in different formats, you're just wasting your time. So I want you to find the helpful content, and then you need to hop into the containers and you need to partner with editors who actually resonate with you. You need to use your free content and your research to find the mentors, the people, the coaches, the editors who get you. The people who you feel connected with, you feel a resonance with. The free content, you need to use that proactively as a writer to find the resources that you connect with, that you click with. If you click with my vibe, if you click with the way that I present things and the way that I talk, then you will probably connect with me as an editor, right? I want you to get to know me, get to know people through their free content, and then you will be able to make a better call about who to work with when you're ready to invest in higher level support with your writing. So here's what most free memoir content is missing, and it's the bones of actual editorial strategy. And that is something that I've really been focusing on a lot if you've been paying attention to the free content I've been producing. The thing about memoir is that it's deeply personal, which means that your editorial strategy also needs to be personal. You're not just telling a story, you're crafting an intentional reading experience. So to do that, you need to know, what am I trying to say with my memoir? Like, what's the story I'm telling? Who am I writing this for? And why is this going to matter to them? You need to know what, who, and why. That is your editorial strategy, okay? And without clear answers to those questions, no amount of free advice is going to help you. You will keep spinning your wheels trying to apply generic tips to a deeply specific story. And it's not going to work. You're going to end up back on Google, back in your podcast app, back on YouTube, back in those Facebook groups that are full of writers just like you who don't know what they're doing. And that's no fault of their own. It's not that they're bad. It's not that their story isn't worth writing. It's that they don't know how to use the free advice that's there, how to use it as a springboard. You don't want to live there. You want to use the free advice to help you find the people to give you specific advice, to give you specific feedback. You can start this process for yourself with the Memoir Strategy Collection. This is a set of 4 mini masterclasses that are designed to help you cut through the noise and create clarity around your story. I've talked about how I like to use this free platform this free content to highlight your blind spots. I want you to know what your problems are. I can't help you with those, I can't help you on the how exactly in free content, but I can show you what they are. I can help you understand why they exist. And that is why the Memoir Strategy Mini Masterclass Collection is so valuable. If this podcast episode is your square one, the Memoir Strategy Collection can be your square two. You're going to come a little bit deeper into understanding what it is that you don't know. You're going to have an awareness of what it is that you can shift in your writing to better engage with your memoir, to better find the supports that are actually going to help you. I want you to learn how to develop an effective custom editorial strategy. And we start that in the Memoir Strategy Collection, because without a strategy, and that's what free content is missing. It doesn't teach you an editorial strategy. It teaches you tips and tricks. It's very surface level. And again, I'm saying this in free content to you. So I have nothing against free content. It's very useful. It's beneficial for both consumers and creators. Okay, it's beneficial for all of us. But I want you to use it strategically. I don't want you to just binge every single episode and then just sit there thinking that you just need one more episode for things to click. Use this content, use all the free content to help you discern what your next right step is. Who are the people who are going to help you? The Memoir Strategy Collection is the most natural step from this episode to understanding this on a deeper level, to understanding how this is going to apply to your memoir, to help you think like an author. That's one of the mini master classes, is thinking like an author. I want to show you different blind spots. I want to help you come at them from different ways to understand who you are as a writer better, so that you can spend your energy right now crafting and putting together an editorial strategy that is going to completely revolutionize and change how you engage with your manuscript. That's the point. That's what you want. You want to feel great about your manuscript. You want to know how to engage with it, because the way you've been doing it isn't working anymore. Maybe it worked for a little bit, but it's not working anymore. That's what we do. Use free content strategically. Use free content to help you develop custom blueprints for your memoir, custom strategies. That's what we do here. You're going to learn about the editorial strategy that I use with my writers. You're going to learn about how to tailor that to your story and to your message. And you're going to walk away with more actual tools that you can adapt. You're going to walk away with new ways to see this different advice. Okay? Links you need are in the show notes. This episode can also be found on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram. Hang in there. You are the boss of what goes into your brain, of what goes into your mind. Use the free content out there to help you. Use it strategically. Be discerning, because not everyone's going to have the right answers for you. But if you listen to yourself, figure out who you connect with and follow that. And I promise you that you will make strides and progress and leaps and bounds in your writing. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday.